Well, let's talk more about this infamous product that's gotten a bump from the coronavirus. Burt Flickinger, Managing Director at Strategic Resource Group, joins us now live from New York. Welcome back to the show.
Good to team up, Rochelle.
Now, obviously, sanitizer wasn't a hit when it first came to market. So talk about the product's first appearance on the market versus where it's evolved to now.
It's interesting, Rochelle. I was at Procter & Gamble when we first launched liquid soaps along with Minnetonka soft soap, which is now Colgate. And liquid soaps to Gojo, Purell really had a tough time getting broad consumer acceptance. And the biggest issue was the alarming stat that until this crisis, only 30% of the U.S. population did not wash his or her hands at all during the day. So only when taking a shower or a bath was the only time people washed his or her hands. And with a crisis, now people are finally getting close to 100% versus only 70% usage.
I mean, these are really some shocking statistics you're talking about here. But talk about hand sanitizers' effectiveness versus hand washing.
The hand sanitizers are highly effective, but with soft soap, Safeguard, washing for 20 seconds in hot water will kill about 90% of the germs. And as you referenced well in the earlier segment, using Clorox or Lysol disinfectant wipes can also be highly effective as well.
Now, sanitizer came to be an affordable and accessible option, especially for people who couldn't access soap and water easily. But as we see from this crisis, we're seeing third-party sellers sort of hoarding and essentially price gouging. How are selling platforms and governments responding, or how should they respond?
The selling platforms, most notably Amazon, are trying to limit the price gouging. What happened, though, was out of control for 3 or 4 weeks where small independent distributors would clean out CVS, Walgreens, all the chain drugstores and the dollar stores and many of the big box stores to try to create an oligopoly in distribution. And now, since there are limits in what can be sold, what we're seeing is constructively there is no price gouging by the brand manufacturers. In Walmart and all the other major retailers all the way to Lowe's home improvement centers are, even though they could sell the price at a real premium, some like Lowe's home improvement stores are actually discounting the price to make it more affordable to the public as a public service.
Well, certainly that's very good to hear. So then what are we seeing in terms of demand during this pandemic versus, say, other health crises that we've experienced?
The demand's unprecedented. Our family's been in retail for 125 years, Rochelle, and I teach the history and future of retailing at Cornell University. In blizzards, hurricanes, natural disasters, the biggest stock-ups had been for 5 to 15 days. Now people are stocking up and hoarding at home for 30 to 50, up to a 70-day supply, because they're thinking this could last for 8 or 9 weeks. And it's so hard that people could go to 10 to 20 drugstores and dollar stores a day, not find something. So unless they go to BJ's Wholesale Club, Walmart, Lowe's Home Improvement Centers, Kroger, Costco, Albertsons, Safeway, that have strategically planned to stock up extra inventory, own their own warehouses, own their own trucking fleets, can send their trucks to the manufacturers to pick it up as soon as it's produced, and get the product to the stores 24 hours a day and have the product ready when the stores open every morning. With the exception of those few notable retailers in Winco and a few others, Wegmans as well, it's very difficult for people to get the product in small stores, especially chain drugstores and especially dollar stores.
So then, looking at the actual content, what's essential to make it effective, and how easy is it for either people to produce or for other companies to sort of shift gears and start producing it?
Rochelle, you're raising a really important point, as you referenced in the lead-in with Gojo, that it can be made at home with some pretty basic ingredients, as you referenced, going back to Florence Nightingale and Louis Pasteur, that the technology to make the product independently, either in labs at home, is still there. and the effectiveness is not 100%, but it's close to 100% either with Purell and or with liquid soaps and or with disinfectants. The key is really going up to 20 seconds in washing and cleaning and letting the surface dry for 4 minutes. If it's a hard surface, it's cleaned with a hard surface disinfectant cleaner.
All right, well, thank you so much. Lots of great advice there. Burt Flickinger, Managing Director at Strategic Resource Group.